from here, instead of pivoting on this hip that way, this hip has to move out of the way and this one has to come through. This doesn't move out of the way, it stays there. So now we have all this compression right here. And then when we get set, it goes. We don't want this reaching across. What we want is right here. This comes in this way. Here, this comes in. And then it goes straight out. So the cross. It's if you had something, like if there was a grapefruit that materialized right there, you would squeeze it right at that point and then kind of shear it off. We shouldn't do the jigotai like Nagamine does with a lot of hinge here. It should be more arched this way, so it's not quite as low. It could be low if you can keep your arches, but you don't want to release that arch. The hinging is when you're relaxed. You're just taking a break. Now I'm hinged. If it's going to be dynamic, then if I'm at the hinge, before I can do anything, I have to load up. So we just don't want to ever have to load up because we're already loaded. So right here. So then, because we're already loaded up, if you're hinged, then it's kind of a floppy motion here, this way. But if you're loaded, right here, then it's a squeeze. It's a tightening motion. Squeeze. This moves out of the way. This comes through. If I'm on this line here, I don't want this hip to get off that line and then return to the line. I want to try to leave the back hip on the line. That means this hip has to move off the line. So here, this right about here. Set them up with the arms over there. What you have to do is you have to, instead of breaking it and hinging it, you need to distort it. There's still a hinge here and a hinge here, but you want to get the feeling that you're repressing the hinge and just doing the arch, not this, but kind of this. So here, you keep it. Your foot has to pivot. Your foot is this way, it's going to end up that way. So part of the way to get by is that this foot is pivoting, but you're still trying to keep the arch. The other thing, when we do this, we don't want to hinge up here either. Like this could be just a hinged knee and a hinged hip, but we want instead not this way, this way. So this squeezes here. This is just sort of along for the ride, but you keep that arch here. And you don't have to get this real high if it's going to break the arch, So we want it as high as we can get it to stress our arch to make it stronger.
Is the arch still on the inside, right?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
I have an arch. When this foot is up, there's an arch here. This arch is not so important because this is dangling. But I try to keep it anyway, Yeah. But this is the primary arch right here. So then, if I just hinge up, then I'm just balanced here, and this is not a powerful stance or posture. If I arch up, then I'm already loaded. Then when I make this grab here, then because I already have this arch, if I just have a hinge, then basically it's gravity. I fall, and I use the fall to pull. But if I have the arch, see, I can pull this way to the opposite hip, and then here. Right here, if I pull this person here a little bit, then, and I'm using my koshi, then my knee is not going to stay there. My knee is going to move here. So I pull here and here, and now I have this kind of a trap here. So now I have this trapped. And now when I when I move my body, I have levers here. This lever and that. I don't even really need to use my arm. You know, if I have a perfect spot here to move without my arm. But with my arm, then I can do more.
So if you're grabbing my leg, so I have my leg here.
If your leg is here, then see, I can do this. Okay, so she's going to punch me in the head, but she has to flex her knee to reach me a little. I step here, this way, and then I have the leverage here. So I have leverage there. So the apparent leverage here, the top leverage that everyone knows from the first day, is not the important one. Now, I'm not twisting. See, my leg isn't finished. If I twist, then it's going to hurt. So I would then, right from here, do this, so then I twist. So that twist is hitting this at the same time as I'm hitting here. So it's this move, almost the same, except now this one is a little easier because it's on the floor and you're propped. This one you have to do loose. It's the same thing. That little can opener.